there has been some huge Star Wars Squadrons news that has just been announced and will fundamentally change how we play the game from here on out. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about exactly what this is, how this will affect anybody watching this video that still plays Star Wars Squadrons, and for the people who haven't picked it up yet, why this is the best time for you to start playing. And most important of all, what problems are fixed with these changes. So without further ado guys, definitely leave a like on this video, really helps us out, and let's get on with the video. So on the 26th of February 2021, Star Wars Squadrons is coming to EA Play and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, meaning if you have one of these passes, you will have full access to the game, providing you keep paying the monthly fee that comes with that Game Pass. And believe it or not, there are 13 million people that are paid subscribers to that Game Pass. So there is 13 million potential active players for Star Wars Squadrons. And because it's one of the biggest titles to come to the pass in this month, there is no doubt in my mind that we're going to see the biggest bump in players to the game since launch. Just remember, Star Wars Battlefront 2 had something relatively similar that made the game more accessible to people who had not paid for it, and their numbers skyrocketed in terms of online players. For Star Wars Squadrons, I think this is going to be pretty much on the same level. According to news outlets like Polygon and Eurogamer, it's expected the game will drop on both EA Play and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate sometime in March. The exact date, unfortunately, we do not know. Many people are going to pick up this game for two main reasons. One, it is probably one of the best VR experiences you can have right now, and because this game is accessible to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate users on both PC and Xbox, PC users have full control over what VR headset they'll want to use. Second of all is the HOTAS gameplay. This is one of the very few AA/AAA games which has full support for various type of HOTAS layouts. Whether you want to be running dual HOTASes, or keyboard and HOTAS, or just the whole setup in general, flight simulator enthusiasts are going to be able to pick this game up with ease. This game covers a lot of niches, and I think that is definitely going to help it in the long run. But most important of all, beyond all of the other things that I mentioned, it actually solves a concern that I brought up in a video a couple of weeks ago. In that video, I addressed the fact that the game was losing momentum, and all of this was absolutely normal for a AA game that is not a live service. Remember, this game isn't being run on microtransactions. Once you have the game, that's it, you're done, you've got it. So it's very normal to see the active player base on a multiplayer centric game drop every week per se. And with that smaller pool of players, it makes it quite difficult for new players to come in, try to learn the ropes, and actually play a few ranked games, because most people are going to be leagues ahead of them because they joined earlier on or when the game launched, meaning that difficulty curve that was already quite high just got even higher for new players. But with this game coming to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and EA Play, it opens up the floodgates to tons of new players to Star Wars Squadrons. Pretty much a whole new generation of players. And when those players get addicted, keep playing, and catch up in terms of skill with the rest of us, it's going to bring a whole new wave of competition, especially when it comes to the very active esports scene with Star Wars Squadrons. So whilst active players on Steam charts for Star Wars Squadrons might not go up that high after this news, for console players and people running the game through Xbox Game Pass, those numbers are going to absolutely skyrocket. And I say that with the utmost confidence, because when Star Wars Battlefront 2 went free to download on Epic Game Stores for 2 days, they had 19 million people download it. But this time around, we have 13 million paying subscribers to this service that can pick up the game and try it out for free. And because it's got Star Wars slapped on it, I'm really excited to see if they play through the single player and stick around for the multiplayer. Not to mention that we got some news from the Star Wars Squadrons devs that they weren't going to update the game anymore, that this was their final content update, which was going to be on May the 4th. But we've seen a lot of server-side balances to starships thanks to player feedback. So it seems like the devs are still relatively active in making sure the game is as balanced as it can be. This is going to be perfect for new players, because at the time that myself, EcksToo, and Corey Losers bought the game, Season 1 rank just didn't work at all. There was absolutely no matchmaking whatsoever, and the biggest fundamental part of the ranking system just didn't work. So new players were getting bludgeoned by decent players at that point. I now believe the matchmaking system is so much better now. So these new players are going to have a much healthier experience when playing against people of a similar skill cap. A lot of people were concerned about why this game went straight to Game Pass so quickly. Many die-hard Battlefront 2 fans will attribute it to the fact that it's a bad game, when in fact it's just simply not true. The reason it shifted over to Game Pass so quickly compared to other Star Wars games is simply because it was a AA game. This isn't any Jedi Fallen Order we're talking about here. This was a game that took 12 months to develop and was initially spawned off from the Battlefront 2 game. Its marketing and its budget was much smaller because of it, which means EA wasn't too fussed about pushing it to a Game Pass after about 7 months since its release. This game was never designed to be a blockbuster Star Wars hit. It was a side project that was served as a goodwill game from EA, because you could buy the game for $40 with no microtransactions, and that's pretty much the story. This was something we theorized would happen. I don't think we theorized it to happen so soon, but we're really excited for it to come now. The boom from the 4.0 content update and Christmas sales have all done their job as numbers go back down to normal, but this will actually change how many people are playing Star Wars Squadrons at one given time. And as mentioned before, I really believe we'll see more active players after it drops onto Xbox Game Pass compared to its actual release. So I'm really excited. But this is where I want to pass the question over to you guys. Perhaps you're still playing Star Wars Squadrons and this is great news because it means your friends can get involved. Or perhaps you're just happy that more people are playing the game and talking about it. Or maybe you're not happy about this news. Perhaps you just bought the game. Or maybe you think most of these players are just going to play the single player and then just leave it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I'll read all of them and try to get back to some of you as well. But this is where we get to the end of the video. If you loved this video, please give it a like. It really helps us grow. And of course, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell while you're at it. But besides that, I've been Charlie, you've been watching EcksToo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.